Welcome to New Hampshire Politics with John Burt. I am John Burt. Isn't that impressive? That was August 15th, last Thursday, or whenever this is airing, but it was August 15th, 2019, Trump rally at the Manchester, as I always call it, because I'm a Yankee and I don't like change, it's still the Verizon. But I guess it is this new arena. So, everybody tells me, John, you need to, get into the real world here and believe that it's the SNU. And I said, all right, I'll call it the SNU, but I still slip and call it the Verizon. It's been the Verizon for a long time. I wonder how many years, a lot. And I wonder how much it cost. I always wondered about that. But anyways, to get back to the rally, the crowd was just incredible. I mean, it was nonstop. They just kept cheering and cheering and cheering. I am going to refer to the ManchesterInkLink.com, and it's a group of people that run this. I normally, I want to use my political nice words tonight. I normally don't look at their pages that much because they are extremely left-leaning, but I want to take, when credit is due, I want to give it. I want to thank them for a great article, and let me find the date of this, and it's ManchesterInkLink.com for those who didn't make it in to, to the rally, and that was dated Friday, August 16th. 2019 by Carol, and I do not know how to say it. It's Robideau, I think it is, Robidex, how you say her last name. I know I'm slaughtering it, so I apologize, Carol. I am terrible with pronouncing last names, but I want to take my hat off to you because you did a great job on this article, and I am going to be referring that article a lot tonight under the Fair Use Act, of course, because I'll be talking about it. But again, the rally was just incredible. A lot of people cheering and cheering and cheering, and when President Trump came out. They talked about the Secret Service, according to this Manchester Ink Link article. It said the Secret Service said there was 11,500 people inside the arena, and then there was 6,000 to 7,000 that were outside. And what the deal is when you get a ticket doesn't guarantee you in. They're free tickets. And if you read the fine print, it's whoever shows up first. So they're going to give I think I heard somewheres around 45 to 50,000 tickets were given away. That's what I heard several different people talking about that they saw. I don't have that, confirmation of numbers, but that's how many people wanted to get in there. And of course, a lot of people don't show up. So they just give tickets away, give them away, and as long as you're there early, and people were camping out, that's what was crazy. But I did want to, at the opening there, I do want to talk a little bit about that. President Trump toward the end. Let me start it right now, and it's the fake news one, and I'll let you listen to this.
Fake calls put out by the fake news media.
President Trump is a master at playing with the news. I really think he controls them. I mean, not controls them like, as I think the Democrats control most of the news. But he just knows how to beat up on them, and he does. He'll put his Twitter out there, and Nancy Pelosi, I think, is correct. I don't want to agree with her much, but she is correct. Nancy Pelosi said, the news media is going to reelect President Trump in 2020. It is 23 and a half hours of Trump every day, all day. And she says they got to stop this, but they're addicted. It's like, heroin or cocaine to them. They're just addicted. They can't do it. So it's really funny how, everybody starts, once he brings up the fake news and everybody's like, woo! I mean, it was hilarious. I wanted to bring up the picture 2 there, which is it's the protesters. Now, I've gotten some trouble a little bit, but I do that occasionally. Some people were beating me up because my number's off. Well, my numbers aren't off. When I went by at 2:30, 2:45 in the afternoon, there was about 35, I thought. Well, once you start counting them, it's less than that. In the second picture, it'll show some news guy talking to this other guy, and he's, and if you see the crowd there, there's only 25, 30 of them. Now, I was inside like come 4:30, 4:45, I was in the building in Verizon, so I didn't see the extra protesters coming. I understand. Yeah, some people say 75 to 80 of them showed up. Now the news reported that, there was hundreds of them, but of course they're going to stretch that. And that's where you come back to the fake news. We're seeing pictures of reality to what they're reporting. That is what social media does. It's great for that. There's times I hate social media. It's like, really? I'm not spending any time on Facebook today. I have a life. Other people, they spend their life on it, arguing with people they'll never meet. And I'm going, okay, let's move on, people. Let's get a life. But if I could go back to the other picture of the protesters, what happened there is I did post on there on my Facebook, and this is where I got in a little bit of trouble. I said, what surprised me? All it was some older white ladies. Angry, that's what I said. Angry white older ladies. And everybody's go, older, John? Are you allowed to say that? Well, I mean, I'm older, and they're all there crabbing about it. But they were peaceful to me when I walked by. I was like, hi, and they said hi back, and I kept moving on. I disagree with what they believe in. That's it. Now, I did hear there was some scuffles later, and there were 3 people arrested. One person wasn't arrested for protesting or got in a scuffle. There was only 2 there, but out of the 3, according to the Manchester police that were arrested, one tried to jump the barricades, and I'm like, really? Are you that dumb? But, it just, I just scratch my head and I go, I don't understand people. Why are you jumping barricades? Before they started letting us in. And they went and arrested them for that. Now, the next one is with Victoria Sullivan. I'm not impressed about this. Mayor Craig, I'm critical of her. I don't like her policies on the homeless. I've mentioned it many times how she went in and destroyed where they lived and where people were going to help them. So now they're citywide, and they're like, okay, and the people that, I got to bring Lisa Freeman on. She is really good. She's talked to me many times about that, about how they are finding them and they are still helping them. So let me try to get her on. But Mayor Craig had Victoria signs picked up the day of or the day before the election, all through the city. And I'm going, really? And Victoria Sullivan is running for mayor against her. She said that when President Trump comes, she didn't want any political signs out. Well, it's New Hampshire for one. He's coming here for a political event. I kind of question why she would do that. And, I know Victoria's questioning it too. So I'll try to get Victoria on too, or probably Lisa Freeman. Once I get her on here, she could talk about it. Well, the next picture is me in the arena looking outside. Wait till the line was just massive. I heard it was from where the Verizon is past Valley Street. They said it was incredible. Luckily, I got there early. I got in line good, so I was in there, within, an hour and a half. I had to sit outside, but people were waiting for hours and hours, and then get to the door. Sorry, we're not letting anybody in because the place was full. Oh, and I did want to talk about that too coming up. Remind me about the fake news. Oh, you know what? I should bring that up now. There were empty seats behind them, and the reason there was empty seats, I was told it was for security reasons. And I'm going, why? You think we're going to throw stuff on the fake news? And I'm going, that's the only thing that came to my mind when I asked one of the security people. I said, why are there empty seats right there? Every seat is full. There's 6,000 to 7,000 people, according to the Secret Service, sitting outside. so why would there be empty seats behind them? Why wouldn't you fill every seat? And they said, well, one of the volunteers, he said, it was because of security. They don't want people right in direct line, I think probably with the president too. That makes sense. Because I know that whole section right there with the direct line, you couldn't get around the arena that way. I mean, that place was, pretty highly secured. The next one is I'm looking down onto, where the security is. They were bringing these people in as fast as they could, but I'll tell you, it was a pretty tight place. The Secret Service, they know how to do it. The guys in the blue are the TSA workers. They get picked on a lot on Facebook, of course, and at the airports. But the guys, I'll show you the next video, and I'll start that anytime. Yeah, right there. That is where they were. That is the actual, I think, Secret Service people or the police, the highly trained section of the police department, and they're the ones, scanning everybody. I mean, it was like, whoa, they're not taking anything for, saying that people are going to be nice. The next one is me with the background of all the people outside. That's really funny. I have my Susan Olsen. I don't know how she does it, but she's had 2 Democrats. I mean, she's very vocal, but 2 Democrats have assaulted her, and she has filed charges. One has pled guilty. Rep. Rogers, and I like Rep. Rogers, but, she shouldn't be hitting people, and she did. She hit Susan Olsen, and then all of a sudden, there was big trouble there. So she came out with these no hitting signs. So I put that on, and what was really funny is, as I walked by the protesters, I looked at my little sticker sign that says no hitting, and I put on Facebook, hey, it worked. Nobody hit me to get in. Which nobody was going to anyways, but for some reason, Susan has that effect on our Democrat friends. In the Pearls, of course, that's in support of Women's Defense League, which trains women how to protect themselves with a firearm and to protect their children. So that's why I wear those in support. Now, my wife did question the next picture that I put on Facebook. She goes, John, who's the blonde? I said, what blonde? And I'm like, honey, what are you talking about? So she shows me, and I said, well, that's Representative Rice from Hudson. And what I told her, and then she, hopefully my wife's not watching this because it worked. I'm only joking. I have this other picture. I should have brought it in, but I didn't, so I'll try to bring it in next time. I have this one picture of me, really large. Remember when I used to be a big guy? I used to be 378 pounds. Now I'm around 250. Well, I have a picture of me and Kimberly Rice. And I said, Kimberly, could I get a new picture with you? Well, when I saw her, I said, Kimberly, my new picture? So here she is right there. And I said, okay, that'll be perfect. So I'll bring the 2 side-by-side pictures. It's pretty incredible. I keep looking at that. But then the next picture is when we just started getting in there around 5 o'clock. It might have been, it was at least 5. Well, there's still 15,000 or 8,000 or 10,000 people sitting outside. It's going to take them a while to get us in there. Well, of course, some of the people on Facebook that don't like President Trump, they took some pictures because, of course, they're there. I'm trying to think if it was 4 or 5 got lugged out in handcuffs. I thought that was pretty funny. But there they are. They're taking this picture, and they said, oh, here's the rally. Half the stadium's empty. Well, of course, the rally hasn't started. It's only 5 o'clock and 6 o'clock. But then the next picture is when the rally's going. Look at the people. I mean, this place is mobbed. And then the next picture is the same thing. It shows up a little bit more. It's just incredible how many people were there, and just the cheers. That's what was really cool, was the cheers and the cheers and the cheers. President Trump knows how to put a rally on. And to get 11,500 people to show up in the rally and another 6,000 to 7,000 outside, is pretty incredible. The last picture of the video of the Trump rally is, just of the right behind President Trump. I did get a text because I'm up in 209. Somebody sent me a text and they said, John, we have an extra seat if you want to come down. And I was sitting with my friend Gary Hopper, and I said, oh, no, I'll stay up there. So that was what that was. But I did want to read a couple things in the Manchester Ink Link article, and I did talk about the empty seats behind. Oh, I should have brought a picture in because these people, this is from the Manchester Ink Link. Lucy Lou Kilgore, it's Kilgore. There's a picture of her in here. And they said with her niece Jade visiting from Sweden, and they wanted to go to the Trump rally because they're all huge Trump supporters. And I'm like, sweet. And then Lucy's husband, Doug Kilgore, and they were on Elm Street. They were one of the ones that sadly couldn't get in. Now, some of the news was saying how they were forbidden to come, but not forbidden. What's the word they used? Oh, I can't remember the word. I apologize. But it wasn't a nice word. It was, you got free tickets. Whoever shows up first is getting in. Well, then all of a sudden, this is what it is. There's people that can't get in. I was lucky to get in. I was lucky to get there at the time I did. They said parking was terrible. But she said she was disappointed that she and her family didn't make it inside the SNU Arena to see the president on Thursday. They were among the thousands of Trump supporters who were turned away at the arena once the arena reached its capacity. And this is good news. She said, who wrote this again? I got her name right on the end of my tongue. Oh, Carol. Carol said, the arena reached capacity for the rally. Well, people understand the place is full. People can't get in. End of subject. But the way a lot of the news media, they just kept saying how, that the rally didn't let him in. Well, it didn't let him in, that's derogatory. But then she kept, they said that, here it is. Secret Service said that 11,500 people filled the arena, while the Manchester police officer on the outside of the arena estimated the overflow crowd was about 6,000 to 7,000. Now, who am I going to believe? The news that says only a couple thousand were outside, or am I going to believe the policeman that was there and that I'm assuming is trained to kind of judge crowds of how many people are there? I think I'll believe the policeman. It says Rick and Barbara Blaze were also left on the outside looking in after 3 hours waiting. Well, I feel sorry for them. That's a long time. We did see Trump pass by in the limo, they said, and they waved to him, and they said they were pretty impressed with that when they saw the motorcade come through. Even the protesters weren't bad, add Rick Blaze. It seemed like the New Hampshire event was like the old days of New Hampshire politics when people got along despite their differences. That's what I saw. And was there a couple incidents? Yes, there was. And am I sorry there was? I wish there wasn't. But overall, I think both sides behaved. There was the protesters that don't like Trump and they hold their signs. Now I disagree with them. But other than that, I think everything went good. That was it on that. But like I said, I want to thank Manchester Ink Link, if I can say it right, and Carol for putting this great article out of Friday, August 16th, 2019, because she did a great job. And like I said, normally some of their stuff is, to the left, but it was straight down. And this is the way the news should be. Where I think we went wrong is when we went 24-hour news. Remember back when I was a kid, Walter Cronkite came on, he had 30 minutes. It was going to be your top news, to the point, into the next story. That was it. It wasn't going to be his commentary or anything else. Well, now we have 24-hour news. They got to, how can they fill that much? But they have to. It's 24 hours nonstop. So we're going to hear what they think all day and all day long. And I'm thinking, all right, maybe this is where the news went wrong. But that's what happened. Now, I do want to bring up one picture that is not, what's the word? Nonpartisan. It's not political. It's both, every side. Even libertarians are jumping in on this. And this is Jeffrey Epstein. I wondered, and I'm going to bring in an expert, our friend Gary Hopper. He wants to come in and talk about him. He's my expert. Because we're talking, he ended up with a broken neck. He ended up dead. Allegedly suicide. Okay. How did that happen? A lot of high people, like in the FBI, government agencies like that are like, what the heck just happened? It was not the same guards. The guards were sleeping. They took him off suicide watch, and he had broken bones that may be not consistent with hanging. So what I put on Facebook is I was wondering if Jeffrey Epstein was as shocked as we were when he hung himself. Because that's what's being out there right now, and I'm going, all right. He hung himself, but was he as shocked as I am? Because I was pretty shocked when I read that news. I'm like, whoa, what the heck happened here? He knew a lot of people, and he knew a lot of people with a lot of money and a lot of people with a lot of power. So I'm just going to leave it at that until I get my expert Gary Hopper in here, and he will explain everything. Now, lastly, I just want to bring up, I am renovating my house, and I'm rewiring in the back room. This is the third time that I've come to this. And you'll see the close-up of the wires cut. And I'm going, when I ripped out the insulation, I'm going, okay, are they live? I'm not happy when I find this. So I go get my tester, I test it, it's dead. I finally get brave enough and I touch it to make sure my tester's working. I probably shouldn't do that. But you put the tester on, it's like, all right. And you keep testing it, and then you test the other side, and it's like, all right, it's dead. So then I go, just to make sure, because I want to make sure. And it's only 110. It ain't going to kill you. But why? Why are there wires behind my wall snipped off? I just can't answer that, because I'm just scratching my head going, no, this isn't supposed to be this way. Now, sadly, in the ceiling, I found one that was live. I went up with the testers, and I go, okay, this is live. Why is it just cut off and left up there? I mean, this is how you burn houses down. So I think I'm throughout the house enough where, I think I've got everything. This is the last phase of my renovations. Oh, and then we have even the bee's nest up there, and I'm going in the back. I should have brought in a picture of that, but there's a picture I have that right below that bee's nest, you can feel air coming right in from outside. And this used to be Kevin's room when he used to live with my wife's, my stepson, my wife's son. And I'm looking going, there was nights his room would get down to 52 to 55 to the front of the house with a wood stove. And our house used to cost $2,000+ to heat in with a couple cords of wood. I mean, it was just astronomical heat loss. I've tightened up most of the house where now last year we burnt about a cord and a quarter wood, if that, a cord of wood. And then I think it was $780 of propane at $2.15 a gallon. So that's pretty good. But anyways, I just wanted to bring you that, and we had a great time at the rally. It's incredible. I'm probably going to bring this up a couple more times in the shows that are coming ahead as I get a few more, small videos that I'll bring in, because I have a whole stack of them at home. But until next week, I want to thank you for watching me, and I had a great time, and I hope you enjoyed watching the videos. Talk to you later. Bye now.